All right, all right, all right. What's going on, everyone? This is Real Sales Talk. This is a sales show for salespeople by real salespeople who sit in the seat, who have quotas, and who pass along our insight to you on things that we know work. And we give you access to our extensive network of sales thought leaders and sales rock stars. I am one of your co-hosts, Sean Mitchell, and the other side of me, way over on the East Coast, is Henry Johnson. Henry, how are you doing today?
Sean, life is good, man. Actually, if I'm being honest, it's a little stressful. I'm going through this move right now, so that's no fun. But other than that, I can't complain.
Yeah.
Things
How
are going
how
up
was the
and to the
move?
right.
How was the move from Boston to New Jersey?
It's still going. So last weekend, I did, the majority of my stuff, my bed, my couch, all that kind of stuff. And this weekend, I'm just doing the little things like throwing out, because I had to work last week, right? So I went down to Jersey. I worked all week, and now I'm back this week, and I'm like cleaning up the apartment and getting it ready for the landlord to come inspect it. So
you got to drive back?
Holes and all that. Yeah, I got to drive back tomorrow.
Holy cow!
So at least not tonight. At least I was able to work it out that I could drive back tomorrow. I'm actually going to be speaking to Justin Lindsay tomorrow, just for some advice. Yeah, because so with my business, right? I mean, I'm doing smart homes. One of the ways to get to people who own nice homes is through real estate agents. So I just want to talk to Justin a bit more about like that process, like what the best way to approach real estate agents and how he would approach it. So we're gonna have a call tomorrow at 11 Eastern, 10 Central.
Cool. So our new
How
homes.
Are you?
Good. I'm good.
The 2 weeks is what is this? 1 week in. You got 1 week left, right?
Wednesday will be my last day, and so I've been pretty busy because I've got some deals in the pipeline that I anticipate closing. I closed one or two last week. I've got one or two more that I anticipate closing, and maybe a third, maybe a dark horse here. I was hoping it would close. It's the largest opportunity, and all of a sudden they went dark on me. Like just it's been 2 weeks since they've. I've had before that the last 2 weeks. I've had very frequent communication with them, and then all of a sudden, I mean, something I don't know what, but something's happened, so they're not returning my call.
Hey,
so
I don't know. I don't know the relationship there with those people, but so in my last 2 weeks, one of my coworkers said to me, he's like, "Hey, look, anybody you have a good relationship with, call them up and tell them it's your last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
People will move mountains for you, because they know how you're paid, et cetera, that they may not have done otherwise. So if you have a decent relationship with those guys, like, although it's an irregular way of kind of doing business, like, get it done. And trust me, I don't think your CEO will mind if you get him a deal before you leave, right? So.
They'd be happy. They'd be happy about that for sure. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know how they would take that, and I have to remind myself that. I mean, at least I'd love to get a response from them and find out what exactly is going on there. Maybe there was like some sort of family emergency or something that pulled out my point of contact.
Yeah.
Don't know, but I'd love at least a response. I mean, they're right there. They just needed to get the approval from decision maker. So we're pretty close.
Good luck, man.
Yeah, thank you. Tonight we're going to be talking about sales tools, some of our favorite sales tools of 2016. I realize we're not all the way through the year, but I know I've got a handful that I've been using personally that I would love to share with everyone else. And Henry, I know you've got some, but before we jump into that, for those that are following along, either live or on the recording, how can people share their thoughts and their questions with us?
Oh, yeah. In terms of communicating with us, Twitter's the best way, right? I would put in hashtag real sales talk, and I'm always monitoring that. Sean's always monitoring that. That's definitely the best way to communicate with us, especially during the conversation. You put that in. You have any questions? If you want to make any recommendations, you can easily put that in right there. But also afterwards, right? We're also paying attention to that, during the week, any other time, so that, if there's questions or comments, you can put it there, or you can just at Sean or I. Sean's at Sean and Mitchell, and I am at Talk to Henry J. So always love to communicate with people, and that's definitely the best way to do it. But we are also pretty much the same names on every social media platform out there, so always down to communicate there as well. But Twitter's the best for real time.
Cool. So I just want to do a little bit of reflection here. Henry, can you believe that it's the end of season 2? This is like the very last episode of season 2. Has it gone by fast for you?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, the fact that we're through 2 seasons, I feel like it was just yesterday that we were starting, season 1. So yeah, it's been flying by. I've made, great friends throughout it. Like I was telling you earlier, me and Justin are going to be talking tomorrow, and I didn't know Justin, from a hole in the wall prior to, Real Sales Talk. So it's been amazing, just developing the relationships and kind of doing that. So very, very excited.
It's been cool. It's been cool. I look back and I think about some of the people we've had on the show, like Keenan and Mike Weinberg and Jeb Blunt. Those are some heavy hitters in the sales space, and so I just think it's really cool how, sometimes it's it's one of those things where it happens, and maybe I mean, in most cases I don't think we kind of talked about some of these people in the very beginning, but yeah. So I think it's pretty cool that we've gotten some of the people that we have, and looking forward to season 3 that'll start in September.
Yeah. So have we decided a start date for season 3, or how are we kind of running?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Let me pull up the calendar here. So it's not going to be that first week of September, because that is Labor Day, or Labor Day weekend. But the weekend after that, or the Sunday after that. So let me just pull this up here. So it's not going to be the 5th, the 4th, and the 11th will be. It's going to be Alice Hyman. She's a sales consultant. She's someone who I've connected with online. She's been, she's tenured. She's tenured in the sales space, and I don't remember her whole story, but connected with her online, and then she also invited me to Sales 2.0 conference in San Francisco. Had a chance to get to know her a little bit more, and after that event, she knew I was kind of playing around with Snapchat, and she said, "You're gonna have to teach me Snapchat." And I'm like, "Absolutely!" In exchange for you coming on our show. So we gladly agreed to help each other. So she's going to be really great, and she's going to be talking about referrals.
Referrals. I saw that.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good one. Like just how to maximize existing customer base and grow things organically like that.
And you know what? And I know we're gonna hop into this conversation in a minute, but I think that's something that people don't pay enough attention to, right? The referral business, so or grow, pay enough attention to actually actively growing it. They just kind of hope it happens. But I think there's a lot of room for people to improve that. And definitely something that I'm paying attention to now. Like I said, right, I'm going to a very small business that has delivered completely on referrals prior to this. And funny enough, I stumbled across an article earlier today, and you see all these different like ideas of referrals. Like Uber does, you refer somebody, both of you get 25% off. Like you see, a lot of these like new businesses are doing that, and I'm no coder, so I'm not gonna like go in and like create this kind of way of doing this with our business. But I saw an article about how people were doing it just through emails. Like, hey, like if you forward this email to somebody and they buy from us, you both will get this. and it's very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Way to kind of spur more referrals, and definitely something that I'm going to be looking to like implementing in our business as I move forward. So, was really interesting. Thought.
I think it's definitely underutilized resource for me, for sure. It's not worked into my process, and I'm not opposed to it, and I don't mind asking, especially when I know that I've done a good job in serving the customer and really gone above and beyond. Like, I think people would be happy to recommend some other people. It's just a matter of like, once, the problem is, once you close a deal, you're on to the next things. And so I think we'll probably talk a lot about this on the 11th with Alice, but putting in the calendar, for 30 days from the date that you signed up the customer, going back again and just checking in, making sure that they're happy, and then also asking for referrals.
Yeah, I really look forward to that conversation, and luckily I'll still be in the country for it. But I have some thoughts on it and things that I've done, and I'm looking forward to hearing Alice's opinion of how she approaches it as well. So, and then kind of just talking about that, because but everybody else doesn't. I'm going to be leaving the country from the 18th, which is a Sunday, to the 27th. So I'm going to miss 2 Real Sales Talks, but I know it's in good hands with you over there. So so no issue there. But
yeah, I think we might have some like guest host on. I've been thinking about that. I've got a few people in mind that I should probably ask, and I know one person who's offered to be on as a guest host. So.
Okay.
It'd be really fun.
All right. I've got some ideas on people. We'll talk about it after we get off here.
Let's do. Yeah, for sure. So let's dive in here. So as I mentioned, today we're going to be sharing some of our sales softwares and tools that we like so far this year. And I'll just kind of kick things off. I've been actively using a few, and so I think I can share some insight into what they are and why I like them, and maybe why you might want to take a look at them. So the first one, I don't think I've ever mentioned on Real Sales Talk. Maybe I have. I think maybe I have once, but not in detail. So it's PandaDoc, pandadoc.com. Panda like the animal, doc like document. PandaDoc.com, and it's a user interface that allows you to easily drag and drop things into place to create a contract. So you can drag sections in, and it's really, really nice. In fact, I'm actually going to do this right now. I didn't think about this until now, but I can share my screen and show you. Like, I can mock up. Yeah. So let me log in, and I really, really like it. So I got it because I started looking into building out my kind of side consulting, and actually just had a second phone call with a potential client of mine whom I initially connected with on Snapchat. So this I'm still waiting for my first deal to close. I've had a couple of opportunities of people who reached out to me on Snapchat. This one sounds promising. And we'll know a little bit more in the next few weeks, but I'm going to be the first to tell everyone, how valuable Snapchat has been for me in building my kind of side hustle, side consulting gig. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. Here we are. Okay, so you can see my screen, right, Henry? You're still on, right?
Yeah, I'm here. I can see your screen.
Cool. Okay. Just want to make sure.
My screen keeps cutting off for some reason. I don't know why, but
okay.
But
well, we'll trust that everything is working okay on the viewers end. So this is PandaDoc. Cool. Okay.
You're good.
So I'm going to create a new document here, and let's just go with one of these standard ones, and we're going to go. Let's just say Real Sales Talk test. Okay. Start editing. You can pick from different. Okay, let's just skip that here. So you can pick from different templates. They have different templates that you can pick from, and then you can also create your own. So so for this, I can go in and I can change this. I can insert a logo if I want to up here. But as I scroll down, it's got kind of a template, and you've got the cover letter. You can even do like an electronic signature if you want right here, and you can start to fill in some of these things. Now, if I didn't like this particular picture, I can remove this by clicking the trash, and then I can stick in another one. So you can pull in some of these sections here, and drop in some new content. So let's say I want to go image. I want to just drop that right in the middle, and then I can add that section in there. Same thing for like pricing. If you want to add a pricing table, and this template probably has one, you can drop in. Oh, it doesn't. Oh yeah, here it does. So you can drop in a pricing table if you want to, brand new pricing table or a different one. Super simple, really easy to use. And when you're done with it, you can click send and send it out to the people that you need to sign it. And you can identify the signing order. Like, for example, you want the client to sign it first and then you, or you can do it the other way around. Or if you've got multiple people, more than 2 people, you can also identify those in which order you want them to sign. Tracking and analytics tied to it as well. So you'll know when someone opens up the document. You'll get notifications along the way as they look at it and as they sign it. So super easy, really, really simple. And I think I came across them by way of HubSpot. I think HubSpot might be an investor. I know there's an integration there between PandaDoc and HubSpot. So
that's awesome.
That's PandaDoc. I'm super impressed with it. And I was working on one. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a question. Like, so could I like take this and like, if I had like a Visio of something, I could like pull it in and just like make a proposal via that? Like you can pretty much pull anything into this in a way.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of self-sustaining, but I mean, you've got things like video. You can drop a video in, you can drop a picture in, put in an attachment. So yeah.
We just bought so at my company, we just bought like this really expensive proposal software. I wish we would have had this conversation 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Man, like cool. Because so includes so many other things. It's like it's CRM. It's it's pretty much everything a business would want. Sometimes that's the challenge, right? If it does everything, it doesn't do anything the best. That looks awesome. PandaDoc looks like something that anybody, based on what you're showing here right now, probably
pretty affordable too. Pretty affordable. I mean, it follows along the same lines as any other like software as a service. It's it's nominal cost wise. I don't remember how much I spent. I think I bought the year up front to get the best pricing, but $200 or $250.
Yeah, no, that's not bad at all in the grand scheme, right? And I'm looking at, I'm on the website now. Works for Prezi uses it, PGA Tour. Bunch of people kind of using it to do their stuff. So
cool.
Operations. That's one of the things I'm interested in seeing. Yeah, and integrates with HubSpot, CRM. So I will use that as a move over to the next thought here. If you're done, I don't want to.
Yeah. Stop. Your turn. Go.
So HubSpot. I'm in Boston, so I'm also always partial to like the Boston startups. Like because I know people are there, and I guess maybe I probably hear about them a lot more often because of it. For example, Drift is something that you are wearing proudly right there. I love what they're doing, but that's besides the point. HubSpot is something that I've loved since at least 2011, right? And now I'm not using their CRM yet, but there's a very good chance I will be very soon. But what I am using is their HubSpot sales software, which is essentially, it's like the Yesware. It's the can see if somebody opened your email kind of thing, right? But what I love about it is how much more it can do. Right. So right now I use it largely for, I can see if somebody has opened my email. I can add, see if somebody is opening, things that I attach to my email and things like that. But what I love about it even more is that, and I'm not on the paid version yet, but just kind of seeing the capabilities moving forward is that I can then see, I can then attach that to like, okay, this person came in through the website. I emailed them afterward. They then, did this, and this on the website. And that gives you so much more visibility into where that person's mindset is if you're trying to sell to them, right? Especially me being such a small sales team, right? It's pretty much just myself and my father who are selling on our team. We are sales and marketing, right? So I really love the ability to kind of have that much insight into stuff. I mean, as you start to grow a company a lot larger, it may separate, and I don't know how they're handling that. But when you're a small team, being able to see where they came in the website, all the pages they viewed, what they viewed from what you sent, et cetera, I think is huge and something that I'm as we start to invest a little more into it.
They have a free version of their sales CRM, right?
Yeah, so I'm using their free version of the CRM, and I haven't started using the CRM yet. But I'm using just the email portion, and I plan on start using the CRM. But like I said, I'm a weekend, so I have like lists right now still just built out in Excel, and the CRM I think is based on like the free aspect of it. I believe, and I could be wrong, is based on like how many contacts you have in it.
Probably.
So I don't want to put everybody into it yet, right? Because I have a list of thousands of people, and if I put everybody into it, I'm going to start paying $200 a month and not really using the $200 a month ness of it, right? So I'm going to start adding people as they make sense. Like for example, I reached out to this lady who is the VP of sales at a real agency in my area. She's going to be added because that way I'll reach out to her in a week or reach out to her when she gets back from vacation, etc. But I don't want to just add everybody just yet.
You know what you should do?
As time goes on, I probably will.
Yeah, and you should also look into Spiro because they have a pretty affordable independent CRM, so you don't necessarily need Salesforce, and they've got some features in the pipe, I know, that I think will be competitive to Yesware.
And you know what? Actually, I as bad as it is to say, because we had Adam on the podcast, I didn't think about because we talked about it, right? That
we did. Yeah.
They are kind of developing a bit of a CRM in it, and I love Spiro in that it reminds you to reach back out to people. I didn't think of it. I was just kind of going towards the HubSpot.
Totally.
So I think I may look into that.
Yeah, you should, and that is actually one of my other tools, Spiro, because I've used it pretty consistently. The one thing that I love about it is that it's more proactive in reminding you to reach out to people, which is a CRM is kind of basic in that it allows you to house everything, but where Spiro kind of takes it a step further is that they kind of pull in all the data that they know about that particular contact, like your appointments that you have with them on your calendar, as well as how often you're reaching out to them. And then Spiro will actually proactively reach out to you, remind you like by push alerts and by email to let you know that you need to follow up with that person again. So I think they take that nurturing process a step further. And they've got some really cool features in the pipe that I think will really give some of those CRMs that have been on the market for a long time a run for their money, and it's just so darn cheap too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna check that out based on you saying that. I didn't think about it, But I'm gonna check it out now that you mention it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I'm a big fan of them, and I guess to sort of explain, and we can go back to HubSpot sales if we need to. But
no, I'm done. So take
a
deeper dive into Spiro.
Yeah. So Spiro is basically an intelligent assistant that uses artificial intelligence to let you know when you need to follow up with someone at the right time. And so they also have an independent CRM, so you can log in to Spiro and you can see all of your contacts. And I think they just introduced the ability to track not just opportunities, not opportunities in the pipe, but also leads. So if you've got some leads that have come in from wherever, Spiro will now help you keep in touch and reach out to those leads that haven't yet become an opportunity yet. So they're slowly but surely kind of expanding the stakes and widening the tent coverage of what they do, and it's really impressive.
Yeah, no, so I mean, I'm still getting Spiro messages from my old company a bit because I had it hooked up and I was using it, and one of the deals that I actually closed right before I was leaving was because Spiro kept reminding me, like, hey, like, call Mike Tasker was the guy's name, and hopefully nobody Googles Mike, and I won't tell any more information about who he is. But essentially, he kept saying, like, call Mike Tasker, and when I updated my sales report, I'd say, like, I'd say I called him, and then Spiro would kind of, and my close date never changed. So 2 days later, Spiro would say, call Mike Tasker, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like, I should call Mike Tasker again. And I call him again. I call like the reseller who was selling a product. And then eventually, right before we finished, right before my end date, I got the PO, and it was a pretty sizable order, right? I mean, it's like $20,000, which, I mean, I'm not saying it's not the biggest deal ever closed, but like process, like, it was a sizable order, and I was pretty happy about it. I was happy with Spiro helping me bring that in. So. No, Spiro is definitely something I'm going to look into now that you bring it back up.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm sure Adam and Justin would love to hear that story.
Yeah. Cool.
What else you got?
You want me to? So I wasn't going to talk about this one because it's sales, but it's less sales. But because you're wearing the shirt, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, you should.
Is Drift. So I installed Drift on our company website recently, and for anybody who doesn't know what Drift is, it's like a, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it, but it's like a chat box for your website. But the way that most people think about chat boxes is it's simply for support. In that, like, if you are having a issue, you go into the chat box and you reach out to support, like, hey, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, blah, blah, blah. But the way Drift is kind of positioning himself is more as a marketing and sales chat box, in that only being for people having issues. It's for anybody who comes to your website who may have any type of question that they would have asked if they were in a store, right? So think about it is, if you walk into the Apple store, salesperson, and say, hey, like, I just want to know where the the Apple, the MacBook Airs are, right? And that's kind of how Drift is positioning himself, and I love that because I find myself on websites all the time where, like, I don't want your ebook, like, I have no interest in downloading your ebook. I don't want to call anybody. All I really want to know is, like, how much does this cost if I do this, this, and this, right? Those changes, that customization to it. And that's what the Drift bot gives you on your website. And I've installed it on ours, and I'm really excited for the possibilities of it. And I'll be honest, like, so far, there's been very little because we just are not getting enough traffic to our website. And that's a focus of mine moving forward, is how do we improve that? But I love the way that Drift works, and that anybody who writes to me, I get a message right on my phone instantly to my Slack, so I can message them as I'm going about my day-to-day operations.
Cool.
So sales, but at the same time, a little bit of marketing and other stuff.
I think it's the top end of the sales funnel. Like
it's the top end, exactly.
Yeah. That chat box is going to pull people in, engage with them, and then qualify them if they're qualified, and then then they get into the top of the funnel, and sales team or you starts to work through that that opportunity.
Exactly. I mean, sales team. And I wanted to give a quick shout out right now to Chelsea Pates. I'm sorry, Chelsea. I don't exactly know how to pronounce your last name. But Chelsea just gave us a quick shout out. Pete's. Just gave us a quick shout out on Twitter. Just telling everybody to check us out. So
thanks, Chelsea.
Thank you, Chelsea. I saw it on the Real Sales Talk hashtag. So thank you very much.
She's awesome. She's a boss when it comes to creating valuable content for real estate agents. So she's on the mortgage side, but she's a marketing director, and almost every day I see her doing a Facebook Live specifically for real estate agents, and creating value. The one that she did on Friday was about her favorite books, some books that she's reading, and I think she's gonna dive into. You should definitely follow her on Facebook because she's producing some really.
I believe we just connected on Facebook, but I haven't. It hasn't popped up. I also on my computer have like this block, so I cannot see anything on my feed because I don't want to waste my time on Facebook every day. But on my phone, I haven't seen her at all. But I just pulled her up just now. I'm gonna check it out a little later.
Set her to turn the notifications on for her.
Yeah.
So it'll notify you.
Or I'll turn it on so I can check out.
Good stuff. Yeah, for sure. So shout out to Chelsea.
I love her Snapchat. So I believe that her Facebook is probably just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Okay, whose turn is it? Is it yours or mine?
So I just did Drift, so I'll let you go.
Cool. Okay, so so this is an indirect sales tool, but it's been valuable to me. I mentioned this one before. It's not WeWork. That's what I wrote down on my notes. Upwork. There we go. WeWork.
Oh, there we go.
WeWork is a shared office space. Upwork is basically where you can put out your skills and your expertise, put a little profile out there, and then companies can come in and contract you out. It's also valuable if you need to hire someone, to contract someone to do something. So there's a couple of ways that you can look at this. I'm gonna take the angle of, let's say you're a salesperson and you're slammed. You got a lot of stuff to do. You look at everything that you have on your to-do calendar and you assess which of those activities or to-dos is worth your time and which ones are not. I went through this whole little deal on I think it was in season 1, where you should figure out what your hourly rate is. Like take your compensation and salary for the year and divide that out by months, and then by weeks, and then or by total hours, and you can get your hourly rate. And everything that does not line up with that hourly rate on your to-do list, delegate it out. And Upwork is a really great resource to do that. Both Henry, you and I have used it successfully. It's actually how I got one of my consulting clients. So I'm a big fan, and it's a really great way to maximize your time as a salesperson, or as a sales manager for that matter. If you need someone to do some grunt work. I was going to another way I use this is I was going to a conference. I had a list of people's names and companies that were going to be at that event, and so I hired someone from Pakistan to go through and data mine everything, like get me phone number, email address, how large the company was, and all for $25, and that was probably 20 hours worth of work. You're on mute.
Oh, well, yeah.
There we go.
That reminded me, like, because I've been meaning to go on there because I have a really good girl that I work with who's done a lot of data mining for me and actually has become almost like a for me in ways. Like, she'll do anything. Like, she's in the Philippines, and a lot of people wrongly, right? Like, going out to these other countries to get help. They think that there's going to be the language barrier, all that kind of stuff. A lot of the people in the Philippines speak English very, very well. Like, I Skype with all my people before I even hire them, and she speaks English, better than a lot of people I know who from America. And she does amazing work, and she's always on time, and it's cheap. It's like $3 an hour, $4 an hour, and it's not skimming them, right? Because in their country, that's a very good wage.
Solid wage.
It's a very solid wage. So, people, I recommend. I can recommend Upwork high enough. I appreciate you putting that one out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. On the next one.
Yeah. So another one I'll talk about has to do with data mining as well a bit, but is software driven. Is SalesLoft. Familiar with that at all?
I've heard that mentioned so many times by so many people lately. Like they're definitely on my radar, like crazy.
So they're blowing up right now, and interestingly enough, like 2009, 2010, I tried to become their third salesperson. I emailed their CEO, like I was trying to have a call with him, and I remember we scheduled a call one morning. And he ended up not getting on the call. So and I probably should have, kept trying to, set it up, like, been the persistent sales guy. But I was like, you know what, F it, like I'm just gonna move on. Like he pretty much said he didn't want anybody who wasn't in Atlanta. Was his reason for not hiring me. So I was like, whatever. Nonetheless, they're blowing up, and I count that as like choice of I picked a good software regardless, right? But essentially what SalesLoft does is you can go to LinkedIn, right? You find the people that you want to pick. So all right, let me back up. So SalesLoft is a Chrome extension. So you install it on your Google Chrome, and they may have other extensions at this point now, but last time I looked at it, they were extension on Google Chrome. And you go to you install on your Chrome, you go to LinkedIn. And then whenever you go to anybody's LinkedIn profile, there will be a button that says or extract data or what have you. And then let's say you're on a VP of sales web LinkedIn and you say extract data, it will then move all of their information into an Excel document for you that will have their first name, last name, email, all of that. So instead of you having to, and paste all that and put it into Excel document and then go find their phone number, go find their email, all that. SalesLoft kind of does all that for you.
How do they extract that contact information, like phone number and email address? Is that just kind of hidden on the back end of LinkedIn, or do they have a special relationship with them?
So they're essentially taking the name and like person's job title and company and all of that, and then scrubbing the rest of the internet, because LinkedIn does not allow crawling, right? So you cannot essentially crawl LinkedIn and grab all the information from them. But so SalesLoft goes around that, like what LinkedIn doesn't allow, but gets it from other places on the internet by just looking at who this person is. And the way that you would, right? And the way that you as a person would look at that and then say, okay, and manually do it. They just kind of have automated that process. It's amazing. Cool. And it makes it so fast, and it's pretty accurate in my experience.
I kind of wonder if they have like an integration with ZoomInfo or data.com, for example, because those are like, I mean, those resources are pretty comprehensive as far as contact information. You can look up almost anyone in ZoomInfo, for example, and get email address, phone number, title, and so on. So I wonder if they've like on the back end built in like an integration with Zoom Info, where when you click that person's contact information in LinkedIn, or if it goes and pulls that that data from Zoom Info, or if it's broader than that, like it really does a quick search across multiple platforms.
You know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly like their process anymore. And what sucks is they used to have like a freemium package where you could kind of go in and test it out. It doesn't look like they have it anymore. I was searching the website earlier because I was going to start testing it out.
Sucks for you, but not for them, because now they're making money.
Not for them, right? They're actually blowing up from everything I've heard. I mean, the guy, I think his name Kyle Porter is the CEO. Yeah, no, I mean they're doing well. So you can't hate on them, right? But
so Solveig wanted to come and say hello. Say hi, Solveig.
Hi.
Hey, Solveig. How you doing?
She's been getting over her little cold.
How are you feeling?
Good. Say good. Don't whisper it. Say good.
Good.
There you go.
She's
you look good.
Being on the screen.
Look at
Right. In a moment. I'll be done here in just a moment, okay?
I love food.
Okay, I'll get you some soon. Cool. So Sales Loft, you recommend it. You like it?
Yes. Very
Awesome.
much so.
Cool. Okay. So I've got one, and then do you have another after this?
I could go all night, man. But yeah, I've got another. No, let's finish on yours. Do your last one. I had another one, but it's okay, right? It's they're in beta, so last one, and let's call it a day, and then
for sure.
If this other one keeps progressing, we'll do that one another time.
We need to get some of these people on the show too. Like it'd be cool for them to come on and just kind of talk about the value they provide to salespeople. So Join Me is my other one that I've been using a lot lately. I use them to make presentations. It's essentially a screen share platform. So sort of like WebEx, but not as deep. Like you can do you can share your screen, but you also have the ability to do like phone conferencing as well as video conferencing. You can have people subscribe to it. You can record the presentations and then send that recording out after the fact. And you can take questions. Like there's a chat box as well. So I've been using them for, I don't know, the last couple of years, maybe longer than that. And they've been slowly adding stuff to it. Solid company. Actually, I think they may be based out of Boston as well.
They are.
Boston, like representing for sales tools.
Yeah,
for sure.
What do we do? Quick before you keep going. We do Join Me, Drift, HubSpot, and I think those are the 3 Boston ones. 3 out of 6. That's not bad. But go on.
Yeah, no, they're representing for sure. Like I think they have like the sales software down. Like they're just dominating the sales software space. That's really, really cool. Sales and marketing.
Yeah.
So I think this one's pretty cool. It's terribly inexpensive as well. I think you can get that puppy for like $20 a month if you pay the year up front. So solid tool, and the user interface is a lot easier to use than a company like WebEx. So I love that, because WebEx is just clunky and it's old-fashioned, and they're not really doing a great job at appealing to the younger crowd. So definitely recommend them for sure.
Awesome. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Boston, as we said, Boston representing. Huh?
You got another one? You got a beta one you were going to mention, right?
Yeah, I had a beta one that I wanted to mention, and honestly, I haven't had enough time to use it to like fully recommend it. But in the time that I used it, it was really good. Which is it's called Pattern. So essentially, what Pattern is, when I was first recommended it, they recommended it as like a mix of Excel and Excel and like Salesforce. So what I was expecting from it was I would be able to take Excel, my Salesforce data and make like Excel docs and like essentially be able to dial out on them very quickly. Because to me, that's a challenge within Salesforce is that it's hard to say, okay, I haven't talked to these people in 3 days. I want to pull a list of all the people I've spoken to in 3 weeks and dial them without looking at like my tasks or something of that nature, right? Or any kind of pulling any type of data like that. It's not that. Mm-hmm. I'd love somebody to go create that, but it's not that. What it is more like a Salesforce mixed with like Evernote. Okay. Is how I'd talk about it. Is like, so what you can do is take like during your calls, instead of like what you see a lot of times is people will be having like their sales calls, and then they'll be taking all of their notes in Evernote or on a regular piece of paper, and then they'll transfer them into Salesforce afterward. Mm-hmm. What this does is it enables you to kind of consolidate that, take all your notes right in there, and then even if you were to, whereas in Salesforce, if you don't save it, it's gone. Yeah. Afterward, with this, if you lose it, they're still there. If the computer completely cuts down, it's still there. You can easily get to it. It makes it easy to like pull things up later. You can easily set up like these are like the 10 questions that I always want to make sure I'm asking during a sales call, and it will automatically, as soon as you create an opportunity, will put that there, and then everything automatically gets put back into Salesforce later on its own, right? You don't have to go back and put things in Salesforce. When you're working in Pattern, it automatically updates Salesforce in a similar way than a lot of these other things that integrate with Salesforce. So that's high level. I haven't used it enough. Yep. I highly I would love to hear if anybody has used it more and has better, thoughts on it. Because I saw a lot of potential in it, but that's essentially what I've got from it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, cool.
I think that's cool.
Cool.
I think we're good. Do you have any more? Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, it's all good. So we'll go ahead and wrap up. And the next, so season 3 will begin on September 11th. Is that right?
Wow. Yeah. Yep. That's
September 11th. We're gonna have Alice Hyman.
A hell of a day.
Yeah. Right. So let's make it a good memory day.
We do a moment of silence at the beginning.
Yeah, totally. So in the meantime, we're actually going to implement, Henry, you and I have talked about this, but I think we'll start this season 3, which is a midweek kind of tech talk. So midweek, Henry and I will spend about 15 minutes talking about, doing something similar to what we've done here, but in a lot shorter segment, which is, what's happening in the sales space, what are people talking about, what software, what articles. We'll share some of our favorite articles that we've come across throughout the week, and then just kind of offer like a short little tidbit, 15-minute tidbit called, I don't know what we'll call it, but sales tech talk or something like that, where we just kind of jam for 15 minutes and share some of the articles and tools that we're coming across on a regular basis. So that's a new segment that we'll do, and we won't do it live, but we will publish it on YouTube, all the platforms. So with that said, thank you for everyone who's been following us. Our community, our Real Sales Talk community, has been growing, so it's been really cool to connect with some of you all. And please, if you haven't done so, share this out. Tell someone about this who you think might benefit from it. And if you haven't done so already, give us a referral or send us some comments. And it's always good to hear when we're doing something right. So thanks everyone, and have an awesome evening.
Awesome.